Fair use. Daily reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. September 10th. Recovery by proxy. They, the promises, will always materialize if we work for them. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 84. Sometimes I think making amends is going too far. No one should have to humble himself like that. However, it is this very humbling of myself that brings me that much closer to the sunlight of the Spirit. AA is the only hope I have if I am to continue healing and gain a life of happiness, friendship, and harmony. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, September 10th. My denial was so thick when I came to Al-Anon that I didn't even know there were alcoholics in my life. Al-Anon helped me feel safe enough to look at the truth. As my denial began to lift, I was horrified at the lies I had told myself and others. But I went from one extreme to the other and became a compulsive truth teller. It became my mission to inform anyone who would listen about what was really happening. I labeled this honesty, but I was actually expressing my anger and scorn for the alcoholic and crying out for help. Al-Anon has shown me that my view of a situation is only the truth as seen from my tiny corner of the universe. I can't undo past denial by blaming the alcoholic for having a disease that has affected both our lives, or by bitterly insisting that I now know the real truth. But I can forgive my extreme responses to extreme situations, knowing that I did the best I could at that time. Today, I can be honest and still be gentle with myself. Today's reminder: when I stop worrying about how others see things and focus on myself, I gain more serenity than I have ever known. I cannot control the disease of alcoholism, but I can step away from its grip by honestly examining my motives and feelings. There is a quote from Friedrich Nietzsche, and it reads, "Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, September 10th. More powerful than words. We learn that a simple, loving hug can make all the difference in the world. Basic text, page 91. Perhaps there have been times in our recovery when we were close to someone who was in great pain. We struggled with the question, what can I do to make them feel better? We felt anxious and inadequate to relieve their suffering. We wished we had more experience to share. We didn't know what to say. But sometimes life deals wounds that can't be eased by even the most heartfelt words. Words can never express all we mean when our deepest feelings of compassion are involved. Language is inadequate to reach a wounded soul, as only the touch of a loving higher power can heal an injury to the spirit. When those we love are grieving, simply being present is perhaps the most compassionate contribution we can offer. We can rest assured that a loving higher power is working hard at healing the spirit. Our only responsibility is to be there. Our presence, a loving hug, and a sympathetic ear will surely express the depth of our feelings and do more to reach the heart of a human being in pain than mere words ever could. Just for today, I will offer my presence, a hug, and a sympathetic ear to someone I love. Today, Emotions Anonymous, September 10th. Reflection for today. Most of my life, situations call for a response, one which is a choice between love and power. I can react either in a loving, compassionate manner, or I can choose to exercise my power by demanding, intimidating, manipulating, or attempting to influence in a way which is beneficial to me. Giving advice to others can be an attempt to control. Giving to others what I want them to have is not necessarily a loving act. Meditation for today. Loving well is a learned behavior which requires effort and time. Help me to be a good student. Today I will remember, loving is a choice. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. September 10th. Family diagram. We cannot overstate the need for creating an extensive family diagram, which reveals with greater clarity the effects of family dysfunction in our lives today. BRB page 127. Many of our families told us we were screw-ups, and we ate that label hook, line, and sinker. We may have thought we were the only ones who were messed up until we drafted a family tree with a twist. Our ACA family diagram lists our ancestors just as any family tree would, but we add at least one label from page 128 of the BRB to each person. We determine the labels by finding out whatever family history we can find from our relatives. We probably know that mom was a martyr and dad was a loner, but maybe we didn't know that grandpa was a ladies' man and grandma worried excessively, or that great-grandpa was a workaholic and great-grandma drank too much, although they called it something else. Our diagram helps us see that the way we talk, dress, walk, and smile may also belong to people from our past. This helps us decide what we want to keep and what coping mechanisms we may have been imitating that no longer work for us. When we realize that we may have been imitating what we observed, the family secrets stop and our own lives begin. Armed with this knowledge, we are free to make our own choices as we learn to reparent ourselves. The affirmation reads, "On this day, I will remember the past so that I don't repeat the patterns of my family's dysfunction. The secrets are out in the open." Please share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be. To remember that you are not alone and that recovery is possible one day at a time.